Hello, anybody, somebody, nobody, whoever may never see this. This is Alexander Faust the Wift. I had someone make a request on to give a better explanation, if possible, on the Thousand Suns damage, or at least about the Malefic Beast dude, Mutilation Vortex Beast, right here. Okie dokie. So, um, where is it? Do I have the other information pulled up? Yeah, it's not necessary. Okay, so basically, the Thousand Suns wombo combo is just pretty nutty. Mutilus Vortex Beast is more so there as a cleanup crew to help with your third way of really being a good army with damage. Now, most of this is just buffing the hell out of Scarab Occult Terminators. But the other two ways that this army is really good is if you still have Arimon and Exalted Sorcerer Disc of Zinch with the Mutilith Vortex Beast, because you could just double the range of your rituals. So you can make Doombolt 36 inches, which starting position is 24 inches. So suddenly it's 24 plus 12, which, just so like people understand, oh god. Oh, it's being dumb. Like, that's your threat range. It's absolutely insane. Can I just... Yeah, screw it. There. I don't know why it's being dumb. So, from your starting position on the board, from there to there, so you just have a massive amount of threat range. So, yeah, you can just hit across the fucking table with Doombolt. And that just gives you more options, which I very much like, and it's pretty tanky, so it's much better than 9th edition. Now, with Mutilithic Vortex Beast out of the way, the other thing is Magnus. Magnus is another really good thing for the army. He can kind of solo carry a portion of the table as well. He's very expensive for it as well. So, it's kind of funny, because Big Sad Mortarion has become less tanky, and debatably Magnus is more tanky now. He's more tough, so it's a bit of a transition. So Thousand Suns have the Scarabs, the Heroes, and Magnus as their big three win conditions that can just really pump out good damage. Although the biggest thing is the Scarab Occult Terminators against most armies. There's going to be a slight thing I'll talk at the end on why they do struggle with some stuff. So, going over all the buffs. So the Beast, Mulith, the Mutilith Vortex Beast, and Arimon. So he could double the range for Twist of Fate. You're going to want to do Twist of Fate, which is a Cabal for 9 Cabal points, to basically make it so an opponent, enemy unit, that unit cannot make saving throws, regular armor saving throws. They can still make invul saving throws, so that's where it's going to be important. But it's an 18-inch range, so if you need to increase it, you can increase it to 36. The Scarab Occult Terminators, you can easily get them in range just by walking them up, and they also just have this massive fucking range. But guess what? They're Terminators, they can deep strike. So what you want to do is do your targeting stuff in the command phase, and then they just come in 9.1 inches away, and guess what? Their rapid fire weapon is 24, thus you're under 12, so you could be 11.9. That's fine. You still get the rapid fire. But some armies get the extra move, so you want to give yourself options. However, you have an Arimon. Guess what? Free Cabal. You can make 1 Cabal ritual for free per game. So that 9 Cabal points, which is the most expensive thing, nope, it's free now. And then that means you can use your Cabal points for Doombolt, and if you have an Exalted Sorcerer, guess what? Another Doombolt. Another one. So, big meme. Your Terminator Lord, which is going to be with the Scarab Occult Terminators, is going to give them lethal hits with their with their weapons. So that's nice. So on 6s to hit, they deal mortal instead. And then he can give them reroll hits of 1, but you're not going to care about that. I already went over the Cabal. Stratagems, you're going to do 1 CP, Devastating Sorcery. You reroll all hits and wounds for 1 CP. with your psychic weapons, which Ensorcelled Infusion, you should probably do that one first. It makes your weapons psychic for their Infernal Combi Bolter. Do not give them Soul Reaper cannons, because that will take away from the Infernal Combi Bolter, and that's the combo. So you need that Combi Bolter. That gives you more damage output. Don't give them the Soul Reaper cannon. Do not do it. However, give them Hellfire Missile Rasp, because that doesn't get in the way, and it's free extra damage, so fuck it. So everything I'm going to show does not include the Hellfire Missile Racks, which are, again, extra damage on top. Magnus, he's going to give them a little aura as long as they're nearby, which gives them +1 to hit and +1 to wound. They hit on a 3, so now they hit on 2-ups, and they reroll all hits and wounds, and they wound depending on the target on 6s, 5s, or 4s, but now 5s, 4s, and 3s. However, in regards to devastating and stuff and sustained, that's still another thing. For Kindred Sorcery, that's your detachment. You take either the sustained one or dev wounds. So this is where it's going to get interesting. So the Scarab Occult Terminators, they have a 24-inch bolter that shoots twice. It's rapid fire. And so for 2 CP and the 9/0 Cabal, you now have, with Magnus nearby, +1 to hit and wound, reroll hits and wounds, sustained or dev wounds, lethal hits, enemy can't use armor saves, and you do 40 shots, because you're getting the 10, which shoot 2 plus rapid fire 2, and then the 2+2 for the Terminator as well, so 44 shots. Now, I have 3 comparisons here. So I already showed you the size thing. Now, in 40k 10th edition right now, they've changed a lot of environmental things. A hot take, I kind of like some of the old environmental stuff, because I don't like how fucking light cover is everywhere. You have to play on a really barren map, or just in the really no man land zone, because it's quite easy to get light cover. Light cover is very easy to get. It's everywhere. If you play smart, deploy smart at least, there's going to be light cover. So guess what? This turns off light cover. So all you really care about is Feel No Pains and Invols. You do not like to deal with Invols, because guess what? They can make their Invols anyway. Custodies don't really care so much about this. They're going to be forced to the Invol, which they don't like, but some things are going to be at an Invol anyway. Like characters or like big demons and knights, they're going to probably be using their form. I have 3 comparisons here that are going to be good to look at. So with if you do the sustained hits, you're going to have a total of about 13 lethal hits for 6s, and that's after the rerolls, with 30 additional hits, because again, on 2-ups. So you're going to actually gain, out of your 44 shots, you're ending with a total of 51 hits, and that's with the ones that were on the second roll already removed. So lots of hits. And then, if they don't have, let's say they don't have an Invol, then guess what? That's straight damage, baby. It might as well be mortals, because they can't make a save. They're not allowed to use armor saves. It doesn't matter if their armor save is a 2-up, a 3-up, a 4-up, a 5-up, a 6-up. They have light cover a million. Doesn't matter. You cannot do it. So that translates this to 13 plus, let's say they don't have an Invol. Then if it's against something like Space Marines, you're going to be wounding on 3-ups, so it's going to be 13 plus 34. And if they don't have an Invol, that's a straight 50 on average. This can go above or below, but I average these out. About 57 damage. 47. That's just so nutty. And then you're going to have Doom Bolts and Hellfire Missile Rats coming on the way as well. Woo-wee! Boy howdy. And then against a target with a wound, you need to be wounding on 5-ups or whatever. Then, it's going to trickle down, because again, the +1 to wound. So these additional 6s, 5s, and 4s, 3s, etc. So basically, the 6s and 5s are always going to be together. So you're going to have a total of there are 13 lethals and then 21 wound rolls for your opponent to save against, if they are like a knight, if they're T8 or above, because you're strength 4. And then if they're T7, then 28 shots that they have to save against. And then if they're same or weaker, God forbid they're weaker. I don't even know how that would be. Like, nothing would survive, because I don't think anything that's T3 has a Invol. At least, there's probably a few things, but it's still going to be fucked. If you go dev wounds, though, I can't spell lethal, apparently. Letal. It's French, lethal. French Fatale. You're going to be doing 13 lethal and 8 dev wounds. However, yes, you could do those against a big target, but I'm going to show how they're not really necessary because, again, you also have AP 1. So even if they have an invul, you're still going to be pushing them to using the invul regardless and stuff. So anyway, the dev wounds, that makes it a total of 21. But if you're going to get more damage with the sustained, then who gives a shit? And this takes away from your 6s. Your 6s get eaten up to become mortals when they might have just been straight damage anyway. Or you would have had more rolls because of the sustained in the first place. So, you know, sustained is, I think, better in almost every instance. The only way I think maybe it's not is... Oh, good lord. If your opponent has... -1 to wound, and -1 to hit, -1 to wound, and they're T8, and they have an invul, which I don't know. I think most of Bellacore stuff has been changed or removed because I haven't played in a minute. But there's very few things that are coming to my mind that might fit that category. So in almost every instance, it's always the sustained is going to be the better option. So, and again, if you can't deep strike them, then you want the beast. Because I don't know if that's the question that was just asking about the beast, why I included them in a comment about them not being mentioned. Because if you don't want to risk deep striking, because your opponent might have a lot of stuff that's going to deep strike as well, or yada yada yada, or they might zone you out, then you don't want to do that. Then you could have them already on the board. This will make it so you can do this without them getting the extra rapid fire, which would really suck. But let's say your opponent, let's say they're just charging up the middle of the board and they're not a go fast army, but they're a melee base, then who cares? Like, yes, you're not getting the full potential, but delaying a turn will be more advantageous to your opponent. So it is better to get the Twist of Fate off if you wouldn't be in the 18-inch range and you need that extra 6 inches. You know what I'm saying, ladies? Just to make a difference. So, if they don't have a save and they're T4 or worse, then you're going to be dealing roughly 37 plus wounds. I didn't, again, track T3s, but that'd probably be over like around 37 to 40 wounds. A 40 wound Black Templar blob is going to take roughly 32 wounds because I believe they'll get a 6-up invul and they can get either a 5 or 6-up Feel No Pain, which still means about 2/3 of them will die, which is a slight good trade. However, I don't think there's anything else in the game that would deal with them this effectively in one single unit shooting. So it's kind of funny. That's one of the tankiest things in the game. I took 3 really tanky things. And so this still might be one of the better options to deal with them. But I think they also get an option to deal with Psychic Mortals. So I'm not 100% on that, but I'm pretty sure. So still, this is a good way to deal with them. One of the tankiest things in the game. My god. Knight Rampager, which I just chose the Knight Rampager, but there are other knights that are slightly tankier and whatnot. However, this is just good because most of the big knights have about this profile. Roughly 22 to 24 wounds. So, with the Devstain profile, with the Kindred, you're going to do about 23 wounds. With Sustained, 27. So, even against some of the tankier knights with more wounds, this will still kill them one fucking shot. That is a huge good trade. Amazing trade. That's like the best version of this. And then the Catan Transcendent, which has been nerfed now. You can't do Summoning Weave, but they buffed all Catans for Necrons. And so you're probably going to see the Night Reaper instead. And so this will do, again, 4-up Invul and now 5-up Feel No Pains. 15 Dev to 17 Sustained, which, guess what? That's still going to kill them. So that's still going to kill the Catan. So take that. Who cares? So that's very, very good. I hope this provides a better explanation. I just want to check out, because I know the catan has on my Necron list. I'm gonna have to find this dude again. Anyway, yeah, it's very good. It's very strong. One of the things is like, oh, well, just kill the Terminators. It's like, well, there's other defensive buffs, right? And if you're throwing everything into the Scarabs, then you're leaving the rest of your opponent's army open, which mine has a bunch of rubrics with Warp Flamers as well, Cultists with Heavy Stubbers and stuff that they could spam, Magnus and the Beast, and all my Doom Bolts, and so you're going to be doing a lot of Mortals still. And even with the Mortal change, that's for if you're doing any kind of weapon that does higher than 1 damage wound count, which guess what? All of these are singles, baby. So they're still going to trickle over like regular Mortals would, which is what you want. Because the changes is like, let's say the Hammerhead Railgun, it's like 12 Mortals or some nonsense. Well, if you did it against like Terminators, it'd be like, okay, 12 damage, so that's gonna be 3, 3, 3, 3. Now it's just like, oh, I failed, I lose 1 guy. He soaks it all. So this though, no, it bleeds over. It bleeds over. So this is why the Scarab Occult Terminator combo is so insane. However, it also makes me kind of think of Blood Angels, where it's like, oh yes, let me just explain it to you with my like 6 to 9 fucking cards. Yeah, just read all this. This is what it does. This is what I'm attacking you with. It's like extra. This is so extra. But yeah, bit of a fucking menace. Yeah, if anybody likes this content, like, share, and subscribe. Catch y'all later.